Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of 27th September. So today we are going to discuss the topics of special initiative to drive away wild elephants from human habitations in Idukku village. So which comes under GS3 under environment. Next, Bilkis Banu verdict SC dismisses review petition by Gujarat. So which comes under GS2 Indian polity. Next, storms brewing in East South China Seas. So which comes under GS2 International Relation. Next topic is about a life revolution Bhagat Singh, a radical thinker and ideal. So which comes under GS1 History. Next, Jivit Putrika Festival, which we have to know under events. Next, editorial analysis. So these are all the topics we are going to discuss today. Our first topic is about special initiative to drive away wild elephants from human habitations in Idukki village. Forest Department started a special initiative to drive away wild elephants that wreak havoc in Kantalur village under the Marayur Forest Division in Idukki. So, according to the department officials, an 84-member team began the initiative on Thursday morning to drive away the elephants from human habitations in Kantalur Panchayat to Chinna Wildlife Sanctuary. Marayur Divisional Forest Officer PJ Shahabib said the drive will continue on Friday. The department aims to drive away problematic elephants from farmlands, said the official. Kantalur Panchayat President PT Tankachken expressed satisfaction with the department's special drive addressing man-animal conflict in Panchayat. As many as 18 elephants were camping in various parts of the Panchayat, which made it hard for the people to engage in farming activities, he said. M.R. Kumaravel, a farmer in Kantalur, said for the past 3 months, wild elephants have been camping on the farmlands. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about Bilkis Banu verdict as Supreme Court dismisses review petition by Gujarat. So why it is in news? The Supreme Court rejected the Gujarat government's plea to review its January 8 verdict, which had cancelled the remission granted to 11 men convicted of raping Bilkis Banu and killing 7 of her family members during the 2002 Gujarat riots. The Gujarat government contested certain adverse observations made by the court in January verdict, arguing that such remarks should not have been made against the state. However, the court found no merit in the review plea and dismissed it. Next, we have to see extra things about the news. The Supreme Court dismissed the Gujarat government's review plea challenging its January 8 judgment that cancelled the remission granted to 11 convicts in Bilkis Banu case. The January judgment accused Gujarat of being complicit with one of the convicts, Radheshyam Shah, and had that the May 2022 order granting remission was obtained through fraud and superstition of facts. The Supreme Court also criticized Gujarat for not filing a review against the 2022 order sooner, which could have avoided further litigation. Next, the stand of Gujarat government. So, in its review plea, Gujarat argued that it was only complying with the 2022 Supreme Court directive to decide the remission application under its 1992 remission policy, through it consistently maintained the Maharashtra was the appropriate authority to decide. The state rejected the court's accusation of aspiration of power and emphasized that it had no need to file a review petition as Bilkis Banu herself had done so, but her review was dismissed in December 2022. The state further contended that it was not complicit in any fraud. So with this we have to know about what is remission. So first of all we have to know about that. Remission is the complete ending of sentence at the reduced point. Remission is distinct from both furlough and parole in that it is a reduction in sentence opposed to a break from a prison life. Next, their constitutional provision. Both the president and governor have been vested with sovereign power of pardon by the constitution. Under Article 72, the president can grant pardons, reprieves, respite, or remissions of punishment or suspend, remit, or commute the sentence of any person. Under Article 161, a governor can grant pardons, reprieves, respites, or remissions of punishment, or suspend, remit, or compute the sentence. With this, we have to know also the statutory power of remission. The Code of Criminal Procedure, that is CRPC, also provided for remission of prison sentence. This is because prisons is a state subject. Under Section 432 of CRPC, the appropriate government may suspend or remit a sentence in whole or in part without conditions. Under Section 433 of CRPC, any sentence may be commuted to a lesser one by appropriate government. This power is available to state governments so that they may order the release of prisoners before they complete their prison terms. The CRPC is now replaced by Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. Also, the BNSS 2023 deals with the powers of remission or commutation in certain cases under the following sessions, that is section 473, which is for power to suspend or remit sentence. The central government has the power to do so in cases where sentence is for an offense against law that comes under the executive power of the union. In other cases, the government of the state where the offender is sentenced has the power to do so. Next, under section 474, power of commute sentence, the appropriate government can compute any punishment to any other punishment with consent of the offender. Next, under section 475, restriction on powers of remission or commutation in certain cases. Next, under section 477, state government acting after concurrence with the central government in certain cases. Next, the guidelines to be followed with granting remission is the Lakshman Naskar versus Union of India 2000 case. The Supreme Court laid down five grounds on which remission is considered: whether the offence is an individual act of crime that does not affect the society, whether there is a chance of crime being repeated in further, whether the convict is lost the potential to commit crime, whether any purpose is being served in keeping the convict in prison, and socio-economic conditions of the convict's family. Also, convicts serving life sentence are entitled to seek remission after serving a minimum of years in prison. So with this, we have to know about what is Bilkis Banu case. In the aftermath of Godhara riots in Gujarat in 2002, Bilkis Banu and her family were attacked by the group of people. Bilkis were brutally gang raped and seven of her family members were murdered. Her case was taken up the National Human Rights Commission and Supreme Court, which ordered an investigation by the CBI. Due to persistent death threats, the trial was moved out of Gujarat to Mumbai, where charges were filed against these people. In January 2008, a special CBI court in Mumbai has sentenced the 11 accused to life imprisonment. Release of these convicts. So in 2022, one of the convicts named Radheshyam Shah, after completing 15 years and 4 months of his life term, moved to SC for early release. In May 2022, the SC passed this case to the Gujarat government. It asked the Gujarat government to consider Shah's application for premature release as per the state's 1992 remission policy. On August 15, 2022, the Gujarat government released all 11 convicts in the gang rape case murder under the remission policy. However, this decision sparked a major public backlash and prompted petitions from opposition MPs. Next, with this review petition of Bilkis Banu's case. Bilkis Banu in 2022 filed an appeal in Supreme Court to review the decision of Gujarat government ordering release of 11 gang rape convicts. January 8 judgment of Supreme Court. In this response to the review petition filed by Bilkis Banu, the apex court on January 8 overturned the Gujarat government's decision to release the 11 convicts. So, what are the key highlights of the January 8 judgment of AC? The Gujarat government was not the appropriate government to pass the remission order at the trial was held in Maharashtra. The exception order lacks competence. Criminals can be released only by the state whether they are tried. The bench also held the SC order of May 13, 2022 was obtained by fraud and suppression of facts. The Supreme Court came down heavily against its own judgment in May 2022. In May 2022, the SC ruled that there cannot be a concurrent jurisdiction of two states on issue of remission. Premature release of convict has considered in terms of the policy applicable in state where the crime was committed. Hence, Gujarat government remission policy was applied for the release of convicts. The rule of law must be preserved unmindful of the replies of the consequences. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about storms brewing in East South China Sea. So why it is in news? In recent years, maritime East Asia has witnessed escalating power struggles with China claiming Japan control Senkaku, Diaoyu Islands in East China Sea, sparking repeated tensions. So with this, we have to know about what are the current geopolitical tensions in East and South China Seas. So first, in East China Sea, the main issues revolves around the Senkaku Diaoyu Islands claimed by both China and Japan. Tensions have escalated through incidents like the arrest of a Chinese fishing boat captain and nationalization of the islands in 2012. The area also witnesses Chinese Coast Guard incursions. Next, the South China Sea. China claims over most of the region, backed by aggression actions such as predation of artificial islands and naval exercises, have escalated tensions with Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. China, the Nine Dash Line claims have been rejected the international tribunals by Beijing continues to push these claims. Next, the USA context. The US maintains security alliance with Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines, providing military backing, joint exercise, and increased cooperation between these allies. The formation of the Quad, US, Japan, Australia, and the Philippines, highlights the coordination to counterbalance China's influence. Now, how do climate change and environment factors impact storm patterns in these regions? First, the storm patterns and rising seas. The region is highly vulnerable to extreme weather events, including typhoons, which are becoming more intense and frequent due to climate change. Next, the rising sea levels and changing storm patterns threaten coastal communities, military installations, and infrastructure. Next, the erosion of islands. The creation of artificial islands by China is accelerating coastal erosion and destroying coral reefs, which are critical to local marine ecosystems. Next, what are the implications of military activities by regional powers in the East and South China Sea? So first thing is growing militarization. China has rapidly expanded its military presence, including the construction of airstrips, ports, and other defense infrastructure. The Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militias have been active in harassing the vessels of other climate states, particularly in South China Sea. Next, the challenges the US Navy. China military activities are seen as the part of the border strategy to challenge US naval supremacy in the Indo-Pacific. This strategy also includes controlling vital sea lanes, undersea cables, and energy reserves. Next, how are local communities and economies affected here? First, the economic disruption is China's action in the South China Sea, particularly around disputed fishing areas, have impacted local economies depend on fishing. Next, the maritime trade. The region is home to critical sea lanes through which a significant portion of global trade, including energy supplies, passes. Any conflict or blockade in the waters would have severe global economic ramifications, impact on tourism. The increasing militarization and tension also negatively impact tourism in coastal areas. The next thing is strengthening the maritime partnership. India should enhance its strategic maritime partnership in the Indo-Pacific through the forums like Quad, India, US, Japan, and Australia, and ASEAN to ensure free and open Indo-Pacific. Next, the economic and infrastructure diplomacy. India can leverage initiatives like SAGA, that is security and growth for all in region, and enhance its economic presence by investing in infrastructure, connectivity, and capacity building projects in Southeast Asian countries. So that from this topic is completed. Our next topic is about a life and revolution Bhagat Singh, a radical thinker and ideology. So we have to know why it is in news. So this September 28th marks 117th birth anniversary of the legendary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh. So we have to know detail about Bhagat Singh. So who was Bhagat Singh? First, his birth. His birth was on September 28, 1907, Banga, Punjab, now in Pakistan. Now we have to know about their family. Came from a family involved in anti-colonial activities. His father Kishan Singh and uncle Ajit Singh were active freedom fighters. Next, their affiliations. So Hindustan Republic Association, which was formed in 1924. Next, the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, which is formed in 1928. Next, Naujwan Bharat Sabha, which is formed in 1926. Next, their revolutionary actions. So, played a key role in Lahore conspiracy case in 1928 by avenging Lal Lajpat Roy's death and mistakenly killing J.P. Souders. Next, threw a bomb in the Central Legislative Assembly on April 8, 1929, with B.K. dead to protest oppressive British laws. Next, the ideologies and principles. So, advocated Marxist and socialist ideologies, rejected religion in essay Why I Am an Atheist, emphasized rationalism, equality, and justice. Next, their arrest and trial. Arrested in 1929 for throwing a bomb in the Central Legislative Assembly, later rearrested for the Lahore conspiracy case, that is murder for J.P. Saunders. So Jinnah opposed a 1929 bill allowing trials in absentia, delivering a strong speech in Central Assembly. Next, their execution. Hanged on March 23, 1931, along with Shukdev and Rajguru. Shukdev and Rajguru. So in Lahore for his revolutionary activities, Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose visited Bhagat Singh in prison. Next, their literary works. So Bhagat Singh was fluent in Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi and English and familiar with Sanskrit. His jail notebook referred thinkers like Karl Marx, and his jail notebook referenced think Karl Marx like Thomas Jefferson, Mark Twain and other, reflecting his intellectual diversities. At 17 he wrote Vishwa Prem, that is universal love, advocating for universal brotherhood and equality. He urged the oppressed class to rebel against the social order and spoke about the philosophy of revolution in his writings such as What is Revolution in 1929. In his series What is Anarchism, he described organized religion and the state as forms of mental and physical slavery. He wrote about the power of love in 1929 letter of Shukdev, emphasizing its role in personal and political strength. Our next topic is about Jivit Putrika festival. So we have to know about this. At least 46 people, including 37 children, drowned while taking holy dip in rivers and ponds in several Bihar districts during the Jivitputrika festival recently. So this festival is a Hindu festival observed primarily in north and eastern parts of India, including Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Nepal. It is celebrated by mothers who fast for well-being, long life, and prosperity of their children. The festival spans 3 days with the main ritual involving strict Nirjala fast, meaning no water is consumed during the fast. The fast is considered an expression of mother devotion and love, with a belief that it will bring divine blessings upon her children. The festival is rooted in Hindu mythology, particularly the story of King Jimutvanha, whose sacrifices for the welfare for others commemorate during this time. The celebration begins with Nahai Kai, where mothers take a purifying bath and eat a nourishing meal. The second day is marked by the rigorous fast ritual, and the festival concludes on the third day with Paran, where the fast is broken with a meal. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about editorial analysis. Our editorial analysis topic is an opportunity to rethink India's pension system. So first we have to know about the context. The pension system in India is under scrutiny as discussions around the proposed unified pension scheme gain momentum. This comes aimed at broader global retreat from neoliberal policies and the resurgence of calls of welfarism, highlighting the need for effective pension security for retirees. Next, the introduction. The pension system in India had undergone a significant transformation over the years, with major schemes, the old pension scheme, new pension scheme, and the proposed unified pension scheme, marking the different phases of government policy. Next, a shift with greater individual risk about old pension scheme, that is OPS. The OPS, prevalent before 2004, guaranteed a defined benefit pension to government employees. In the scheme, the pension amount was fixed and determined by the last round salary. The government was solely responsible for disbursing these pensions. Next, the financial stability and security. The OPS provided stability and ensured that retirees were insulated from any financial market risk. The reliance on a fixed percentage of the last drawn salary for pensions meant employees could plan their retirements with sense of financial security. Next, the retirees was assured of a guaranteed income stream throughout her post-retirement years. Next, the commitment to social security. The OPS reflected the government's commitment to social scrutiny. By excluding the market from the equation, the scheme offered guaranteed pensions to retirees. Next thing is the fund was then invested in financial markets. First, the market linked pension payment. The pension payout under the NPS is linked to the performance of these investments. Retirees' incomes are now subject to the fluctuations of market force. The shift from OPS to NPS represents the neoliberal tendency to reduce state involvement in welfare provisions. Next, the transfer of risk individuals has left retirees vulnerable to market volatility. So retail futures are now at the mercy of speculative market conditions. Next, a return of welfareism. Globally, the era of neoliberalism that dominated economic policy for first few decades is showing signs of a retreat. The 2008 financial crisis exposed the rise associated with excessive market reliance, leading to calls for stronger social safety nets and return to welfareism. The COVID-19 pandemic further amplified these demands as governments worldwide were compelled to intervene in unprecedented ways to protect the health and livelihoods of their citizens. So India too is experiencing a similar shift with the demands for the return of state-backed welfare provisions. Next, the introduction of universal pension scheme. The UPS, proposed by Narendra Modi government, emerges in the context as an attempt to provide universal pensions while balancing state involvement and market participation. Next, their criticism and challenges. So while U-turn of the Modi government, as pointed out, opposition aims to address the issues raised by NPS, the UPS is still its nascent stages and requires significant rectification before it can be seen in viable alternatives to the NPS. Now, what is the need for greater state intervention? One of the critical aspects of UPS that needs attention is need for greater state intervention to ensure that retirees are not left vulnerable to market forces. While the UPS offers a universal framework, its structure should incorporate safeguard against market fluctuations, possibly by providing a minimum guaranteed pension similar to OPS. Next, what are the issues of government contribution here? So the first issue is another era that needs the reform in level of government contribution. That is, the UPS hybrid model would not completely mitigate risk associated with market reliance and may fail to offer a balanced pension system. The further ensuring inclusivity of the UPS across all sectors, including informal labor, is critical. India's vast informal workforce currently lacks adequate pension coverage. The UPS must broaden its scope to provide pension security by all citizens. Next, their conclusion. The comparison of the OPS, the NPS, and the UPS illustrates the tension between state-backed welfare and and policies in Indian pension systems. While the OPS provide the stable and predictable pensions income, the NPS shifted retires financial futures into the violation realm of market investments, creating uncertain and vulnerabilities. The UPS, if properly restructured, could become an important tool in protecting the financial security of retirees and addressing the shortcomings of the NPS, ensuring that India's retirees are not left to the mercy of market forces but are supported by a robust welfare system. So that's all from our today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.